Okay, as promised, I'm going to demonstrate stripping the Glock. Now, all Glocks will strip exactly alike. It's an amazingly simple gun to take apart to clean and inspect. Now, a few things I want to point out before we start this. On the left side of the firearm, you're going to have a magazine stop, which is down here. You're going to have a slide lock, or excuse me, a slide stop, and then you're going to have your slide lock. It's this little button down here, okay, and you've got them on each side. Okay, first thing that you need to do when you're going to clean your firearm or inspect your firearm is make sure that it is completely unloaded. Do not assume that it's unloaded. You're always going to verify that it's unloaded. That is probably the single most important thing that I can tell you. Many people get injured every year cleaning their weapons. Okay, first thing you want to do is remove the magazine. Okay, so you push the magazine stop. The magazine comes out. It's a Glock magazine. Okay, then you're going to want to make sure that there's not a round in the chamber. So keep your finger off the trigger. Your finger doesn't need to be anywhere near the trigger at this stage. Grab the slide, pull it back. There you go. The gun is now unloaded. You can, if you want, if you're paranoid like I am, slide it back. Use the slide stop. Okay, you kick it back, and then you can actually look inside of it to see whether or not there's a round. Of course, there's not. You just pull this down. It brings it forward. The next step is you're going to take and pull the trigger to the rear. Okay, so the trigger is all the way back. You heard that snap? That was the firing pin. Okay, this is the next step, and it can get a little tricky, but it just takes a little bit of practice. Take your hand, wrap it around like that. Okay, I'm going to do this at an awkward angle, so it might take an attempt or two. Okay, you're going to grab the slide lock, the buttons on both sides. Okay, and you're going to barely take your hand and pull the slide back, just barely. All right, pull the slide lock down. Okay, see if I can get this at this angle. Okay, there we go. Oh, comes forward. Okay, so now you've got the slide, you've got the receiver. Okay, now you've got the spring, which is the next step. Take it from this side, pull it forward just a hair, and just up. There it is. Now you've got your barrel. Okay, and you can actually just lift up from this end. It'll come forward a little bit, which is what you want, and pull it out. Okay, there's the barrel, 40 caliber barrel. Looks kind of small. In fact, this gun is remarkably accurate for such a small barrel. I would say well, it depends on how much you practice, but I'm pretty proficient at let's say 50 feet. I feel pretty comfortable at 50 feet, and for a small gun, that's awesome. 50 feet. And that's not to say it's not real accurate past 50 foot. But yeah, anyway, so to clean this weapon, okay, you would then use your cleaning kit, scrub the barrel up, okay, and then follow the instructions on how to clean it. But that's really it. So you've got your slide, your barrel, your spring, and your receiver, of course your clip. Okay, now to put it back together, you just follow the same directions in reverse. Okay, put your barrel in. Put your spring in. Okay. Then you just take the receiver, and there's guides. Okay. Line those up. Okay. Push it forward. Boom. Now, if you want to load the gun, then you could do it in two different ways. One way is to lock the slide back, stick your clip in. Okay, pull it like that. you're loaded. So now to unload it, just like we did at the beginning. Okay, there we go. Now loading and unloading the magazine. Now the Glock can get kind of hard to load once you get the thing kind of full. Okay, to unload the magazine though is pretty simple. You just pull forward, just like any magazine, just like that. To load it, let's see if I can do this where you can see. Push in, just like that. Stick the other bullet on top. I'm not gonna be able to do this. I'm not left-handed. Push in, just like that. Just like that. Now the Glock will come with a little helper once you start getting the magazine kind of loaded. This clip, or excuse me, this magazine will hold 8 rounds, and then of course you can put one in a pipe. And the way you would do that, by the way, okay, all right, the way I do it at least, put the magazine in, load a round, pull the magazine back out, take another bullet, okay, and stick it in. Now, assuming that the clip was completely full and you couldn't get another bullet in, now you've got a full clip plus one in the pipe, or one in the chamber, however you want to put it. Now, the last video I made, there was some question as far as the difference between a magazine and a clip. Okay, you just seen a magazine, this is a clip. This clip is actually a clip for the AK-47. Now, I don't know why they call one a magazine and one a clip, to be honest with you. I'm not a firearms instructor by any means, I'm just a shooter. But I would guess because this clips onto the outside of the gun, where the magazine actually goes in the gun. That's my guess. Now, in my last video, I did call the bullets that I was putting into the Glock a shell. And in all reality, that's a bullet, that's a shell. Okay, this is for a 12 gauge shotgun. Okay, bullet, shell. Essentially, they work the same in the sense you've got primer, self-contained. The bullets on the outside on a bullet, and the shell. You can't probably hear it, but they're shot in here. Now, some people will call these just rounds, and that's fine too. These are rounds. One round a shotgun shell, one round a bullet. So essentially, I hope that answers your questions as far as that. Oh, and by the way, this is 357 40 cal. If you put them next side by side, they look quite different. This is a very powerful round of 357, and that's a hollow point. Okay, and this is a full metal jacket. The difference is a hollow point's more designed to spread open as it hits its target. These are more target rounds here. I find these to be more accurate, though. I had 40 cal rounds that were hollow point, but they weren't quite as accurate. And that's such a big chunk of lead, I don't think it really makes a difference anyway. So there you go. There you have it. Stripping the Glock is the most, it's just amazing. It's the easiest thing in the world. It's just a fine handgun. I would recommend it to anybody. So, in closing, remember, always unload your weapon before you strip it, or before you strip it to clean it. Safety first. Anyway, hopefully that helps answer your questions, and let me know.